Welcome to Our Ideas.
His plans, where our ideas meet God's bigger plans. Come hang out with us in a conversation that feels like your favorite group chat. We're talking about faith, we're talking about love, and lessons that we've learned in the past.
Join us on your ride to work, during your Saturday morning coffee, or during your night routine before bed. Tune into an episode where we talk about our ideas and his plans.
All right. This is one of those conversations that either people are about to really lean into or some people are about to lean out. I don't know. What do you think? How are you feeling about today?
We're being transparent today.
Yeah.
I
I think this is going to be our most, I don't want to say controversial, but our most one of our more risky episodes.
Okay.
You know, so we're really going to step out there, do something, and maybe ruffle a couple feathers today. We'll see.
I was going to say that.
Why are you trying to steal my line?
Yeah, I just think, I feel like in the world we live in, it's good to be transparent.
Yeah.
Transparent.
So we'll get into it. We plan on de-influencing you guys on a few things. So just get ready for that. We got a couple topics that we think will really be interesting to talk about. So join the conversation with us. Before we get into that, though, as always, it's keeping up with the future Compton's time.
That's us.
So,
well, soon.
What's the latest? What's the latest in your life? What's going on?
A little bit that happened with us. We had a fun impromptu bowling date.
Yeah, with my parents.
Or last weekend, I guess. Yeah, so much fun. I love like little harmless dates like that. Like it's just fun.
Yeah.
You know, just to have some quality time, but also a little friendly competition. And I will say, I did lose.
Me too.
Yo, that was rough.
Yeah, me too. And
Usually
I was winning.
I show out in bowling.
You do. And she has a little, Spotify you're not going to be able to see, but she has a little, like, wrist flick. She does it like this.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
It's a sleeper move because she will get you, but...
The wrist flick's crazy.
It usually works. And I was winning, and then I just choked towards the end, and my dad came up, and then he just...
Beat us.
He did his thing.
Beat us all.
Yeah, so congrats to him, but...
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. The date night was so much fun, though. We just had a great time, and, we love hanging out with my parents, your parents, just family in general.
Yeah.
Besides the date night, we talk about our wedding planning process every single time, and right now, I think we're down to our top two. We think we're down to our top
Keyword.
2 venues. We went and seen 2 this weekend, and we've seen probably, 10 total.
Yeah.
And somehow the 2 that we seen last weekend became our top 2. As of now.
That's so exciting. As of now, we have a few on the list, but we are going to get down to the nitty gritty, and we are going to hopefully have a date in venue soon.
So hopefully, I might put some pressure on us, but hopefully next episode,
I thought you were going to say that.
We'll be able to share some good, exciting.
Well, that we chose it, not the details.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, at least that's because once that's done, then I feel like we can really start moving. Yeah. Those are really the biggest things I feel like that's going on right now. Oh, also, this is your new favorite influencer right here, Miss Taylor Howie, the future Compton. But
I'm trying, y'all.
Yeah, you're killing
I'm really trying to grow just a little bit, get my presence out there. So
yeah, no, you are killing it.
If you see me posted a bunch on Instagram, just mind your business.
No, don't mind her business. Watch it, like it, comment, all that. Come on, you gotta promote yourself a little bit more. You're not hyping yourself up enough for me.
Well, because I'm not an influencer, but I'm trying to be.
You are.
I'm trying to be, y'all.
It's just like for me, like I really enjoy all the running and stuff like that. And they say whether you run 1 mile a week or you run 100 miles a week, you're a runner. Same thing. Whether you post one video or you post 100 videos, you're an influencer.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to like share a little bit more like outside of just random pictures I post or something. You know, just trying to get comfortable with social media, especially since we're trying to grow our podcast. But exciting, I did get a brand ambassador type deal with a company called Elevated Faith. Period. Fuck it. They are a really cool company, y'all. Like so many different like shirts, sweatshirts. My favorite, the sets that I'm really interested in, just honoring God and what you're wearing. It's so aesthetic and it's chic and it's really comfortable. It's cute. I love the website. So I was so glad that they approved me for that. But if you guys are interested, I got a little promo code.
Yeah, so we're going to drop her code on the screen. You guys will be able to check it out. Definitely go on there, buy something. not only are you supporting, the brand ambassador Taylor Howie, but also you're just supporting, it seems like, as far as what I know, a brand that is publicly claiming their faith.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we talked about last
so
episode.
Awesome.
So, check them out.
And they have everything, y'all. They have jewelry.
They do got some good stuff on
They
there.
have bags. They have accessories. They have all types of apparel that you can think of. They even have a sale button, so you can check that out too.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, yeah, for sure. Check me out and use my code.
That's hype. She's going to retire us one day. I can't wait for that. So.
2040?
Yeah. Something like that. Either way, you're going to make it happen.
2040?
2040 is crazy.
That just made me think. We're going to be 40 years old.
You know what's crazy, though? It's also the same.
No shade to the 40-year-olds, but y'all, us 40?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I feel like, though, people said the same thing about 2026. Like, just hearing 2026
we were like,
is like,
what's going to happen?
Yeah, cars are
Pigs
supposed to be
will
flying
fly.
right now. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to beat around the bush. I want to jump right into our topic today because I feel like I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to really.
We're trying to de-influence.
Yeah, I'm
y'all.
trying to see where everybody's standing. I want comments on the video. I want people to like it.
Oh
share
yeah, we
all
would
that
love to
type
hear
stuff.
your guys' thoughts on our de-influencing.
So let's get right into it. First of all, let's start by just saying that, there are a lot of things I feel like in today's society, in today's time, and just modern culture that people constantly say or that you see on social media, whatever, that this is acceptable, this is normal, you should be doing this, this is how you should be living your life, whatever. Obviously, we know there's a lot of those things out there that just aren't true.
Yeah.
That just aren't actually the way you should be living your life. But it's became so normal to say that, oh, this is normal, this is what it's supposed to be. And
we're here to break that.
Yeah, and not even from a like, oh, we're telling you should be living your life this way, because we don't know. We're trying to tell you how we have learned to start living our lives.
We're trying to unlearn these things that have probably been embedded in our heads, from culture or society or, whatever. But we're just unlearning them every day.
Every single day. So let's
it's
get right into it.
26 now. We got to de-influence.
We got to get de-influence as we influence.
Right.
All right, first one. I guess I'll start it off and just get the ball rolling.
Okay.
Your 20s are for building your future. I guess that's the statement somebody would say to you is like, don't worry about trying to figure out how to have fun and do all these crazy things. Just use your 20s to build your future. That way you can have fun later. And, just make sure you work 24/7 and build up as much money, save as much money, be as frugal as possible so that you can spend it all when you're 60.
Yeah. As a fellow 26-year-old, I just don't think I agree because I just hear both sides. Like, that's hard. Like, I definitely want to de-influence that statement and thoughts, but also it's hard to later on be like, okay, I gotta, I should have had this done, or I should have had this done, or okay, I worked out hard, now it's time to have fun. Like, I don't know, that's 50-50 for me.
Well, I actually don't even feel 50-50 about it, to be honest, because I know for me personally, I can only speak from personal experience, I feel like there was a time in my life, like in the earlier half, I guess we're on the back half of our 20s now, but in the earlier half of our 20s, where I did feel that way. Like, I need to make sure that I am working as hard as possible. Like, if something comes up about, oh, you could go on this vacation or something, who cares? That's not what's important right now. What's important right now is making money and set myself up. That way when I'm 60, that way when I'm 70 and I'm retired, that I can actually spend that money and have all these nice things.
That's really interesting.
But now the way that I see my life is that I don't think that's right, because I feel like you have to enjoy every day of your life. You can't use your life now to wait to enjoy it later, because some people don't get to see 26 or 27. I hate to be dark about that, but that's real. And there's going to come a time when you do become that 60 or 70-year-old, and maybe you do finally get to start taking all these trips or spending all that money that you saved, but you never even experienced a lot of these things before because you didn't really take those moments when you can. Now, I do think it's important to be, as financially responsible as possible, work hard,
But
definitely.
still, there's always time to have fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to just use your earlier, your younger years as only a way to set yourself up for later.
So basically, celebrate your life now.
Yes.
Celebrate your life then. Celebrate your life in the past.
Yeah,
You know,
seriously.
literally live your life celebrating yourself, enjoying, trying to enjoy life as much as you can.
Yeah.
I feel like actually we just created a whole new viewpoint for me. I'm
Yeah.
not here or there. I'm right in the middle. I'm saying
Yeah.
celebrate it all.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
You can
working
still work
hard.
hard. I was
Yeah,
just about to say that. Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with working hard. But when people say your 20s or that your 20s should just be for you to work hard, you should be trying to just focus on only setting yourself up for the future.
Yeah.
You can do that, but that is not what any years of your life is only for. There's not a single gap or area of your life where we'll just use this part of your life as just focus to be better.
Mhm.
You can still do that every day and still enjoy life.
Yeah, which is the best part.
Yeah.
You can still work hard and have fun.
Yes, as you should.
I feel like we definitely relate to this actually, and I did not think about this earlier, but I feel like we're kind of in that middle gap. Like
Yeah.
we're like, okay, let's have a wedding, let's work hard every day, but then we're always like, oh, well, let's take a trip.
Yeah.
Or let's try to go on this baseball trip or a vacation or even a date night,
Sure,
like
yeah.
we still try to put it all in the mix, and yeah, it definitely is difficult to do it all, but
Sure.
there's possibility to do it all.
I mean, you have this
which is
point.
so nice.
You have this point where you're like, okay, am I saving enough money compared to am I still enjoying life? And you're always gonna, teeter at that point because you're never gonna know. Am I doing this one more? Am I doing this one more?
Yeah.
How should I be doing it? I mean, obviously, keep track of your financials and stuff like that. That's something that
Don't go crazy on them.
yeah, we're learning that as we grow. But at the same time, do not reserve a point of your life to just building up another point of your life.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest one there. Be de-influenced in the idea that you should only focus on building a future at this point in your life. Enjoy your younger years and really experience, and don't waste those years because again, you don't get them back, and some people don't get more of them. So that's my 2 cents on that one, at least. That's how I feel about it.
I think I agree. And we definitely can relate, especially edging up on the time when we're supposed to supposedly be like letting loose and starting to relax and try to be built up by this time, but nah. Reality hits, baby.
It do be hitting.
We are having fun.
But
we're also working hard.
For sure. All right, what's the next one? What do you got?
If it gets hard early, it's a sign you chose wrong.
Oof.
And I think this is pointing towards relationship wise.
Okay. So basically you're saying like you're in a relationship and really, really early on you're like, okay, this is starting to get tough. Then you realize, oh, I shouldn't have done this. Yeah. That's like what somebody would say to you. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I know you didn't ask my opinion. I'm gonna give it to you anyway.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that is 100% a lie. Things can get hard early on and still be a good thing for you. I'm gonna low key expose us just a little bit, yes. But I feel like don't be scared. I feel like that we've had probably some of our bigger arguments in the earlier part of our relationship.
Yeah.
You think so?
We did, definitely.
And I'm not saying like it got so tough, like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if this is worth it. But I'm saying like some of our bigger arguments that we've had, not every single one of them, but some of them were pretty early on, I would say, in our relationship. Maybe also because our relationship has just really like flowed through at a good speed.
Pace,
yeah. But I don't think at any point that I thought this is the wrong thing because of that. You have those moments where you're like, okay, how do we move forward from this? But it's not wrong because of that. Just because something gets tough does not make it the wrong thing. Most good things in your life don't come to you easy.
Well, I also feel like relating to this, growing up and like being in relationships, I would see like maybe social media or like, the norms that people would maybe post about or talk about, like, oh, I wish I had that relationship. That's what you're thinking back in your mind, like, oh, my boyfriend and I fight all the time. Like, this
Yeah.
must be terrible.
Yeah.
But no, we're de-influencing that. Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
no, it can be hard, and you can still work together to get through that, to make it an even better relationship than you ever thought it could be.
Yeah,
You know, like
1000%.
growing, blooming together. But nothing in life is easy. So it's just the work you put in it, you
Yeah.
know, to make it better and progress.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I just feel like people are going to. I'm gonna be real. And I'm just speaking for myself. I can tell you how I was in because there was a time when I would have thought this. Like
Yeah, same.
in my dating life, I feel like there was a gap in my dating life where I would, maybe go out on a date with a girl or something, almost be looking for something to be wrong, or something to be like difficult, or anything like that, just so I can be like, oh yeah, this is wrong. Okay, this wasn't meant to be.
I
This
actually
ain't
remember
it.
you telling me this.
Yeah, so like, I don't say this just to talk to anybody else. I'm saying this about myself. But a lot of times when you do that, you're just scared. If we're being real, you're scared of the possibility of getting hurt, or just being vulnerable, or whatever the case may be. And again, I'm not just saying that for others. I'm saying that for me. Like, I know that there was a time and place in my life when I was scared. So I use these examples of, oh well, she doesn't like this type food or whatever, to then be like, okay, so obviously we're not meant to be. Now, obviously we weren't meant to be, because you see where I'm at now, right? But yeah, I think that's a thing that people find so commonly, is that they think, okay, just because this got difficult, just because so and so doesn't do this way, or they were raised this way, this obviously isn't meant for me. And that's not true, because one thing that I'm learning, even in our relationship, we have a lot of things that we were raised to do differently, that we understand differently, that we may like differently, or whatever. And none of those things, even some of those things that maybe make it difficult in our relationship because we don't always see eye to eye, is a good reason to say, okay, this isn't it.
Yeah.
Because what do you say? What did you say, like, at the beginning of our relationship? When you know, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the? I said a lot of stuff.
So yeah, I mean, I just say all that to say that.
But even if you don't know, you think you know, and it feels a little bit rocky, there's still ways to improve that.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, "Oh crap, got hard, peace."
Yeah, yeah.
You can work on it. There's stuff to chisel off.
You're gonna work. You're gonna have stuff to work on.
Everybody's a little rough around the edges.
In any relationship, like, obviously we're speaking towards like a romantic relationship, but in any relationship, there's going to be something to work on.
Yeah.
If there isn't, it's not a real relationship. Whether that's a friend, whether that's a family member, or romance, anything. If everything just comes naturally. Now, it's different if, like, you guys just click and maybe you can laugh at anything, because I feel like that's how we are. We do just click, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of things that we also have to consistently work on each and every day.
This is kind of like a left turn.
Okay.
But I was thinking, as you were saying that with friends, well, how would you relate it if you just outgrow a person?
I think that does happen. But I also think that you can outgrow a person, but you also outgrow a person by choice. You have to choose to. Let me explain, because that might be a little confusing. Yeah, I'm not saying that like, oh well, you just chose to just give up on them.
Yeah.
But also, especially depending on how much that person is in your life, you can see changes happening. It's not like there's not a lot of opportunity or times when you have somebody that's consistently in your life, and one day they're this and the next day they're that. If that's the case, it happens, and if that's how it works, then whatever. But
go ahead. Oh. No, go ahead.
Okay. But a lot of the times, you will slowly but surely see the changes of how people are, and if that doesn't fit, whether it's aligning with your morals, or if it's your faith, or if it whatever. I don't want to like put anybody in a box to say like, oh, it has to fit these things to work for you, but if it doesn't fit something in your life that you feel like is really big, and that person doesn't fit within that area, it doesn't mean they have to be exactly like you, and they outgrow the way that you are, it's okay to let go of friendships. I'm not saying that you should let go of every person in your life, and that's why I'm not saying that even somebody saying if it gets hard early, it's a sign that you chose wrong. There are some times that maybe you do get that sign, that things are going wrong, whatever, and it's just a clear sign that this is the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's bad when you say that every time something gets hard or every time something gets difficult, that it's the wrong choice, it's the wrong decision. So yeah, I mean,
I agree.
you know,
I think we need to normalize just talking about it.
yes,
Like,
communication.
hey, I really think we don't spend enough time together, or like, I really love for this friendship or this relationship to flourish
Yeah.
more. What can we do?
You have to work hard at a friendship.
Communicate with it, yeah.
And also, like, it's okay though. Everybody gets busy. Everybody has their own lives. You know, like, I would like to see all my friends more, but I know that all my friends are, you know, they're busy. They've got their own relationships, fiancés, wives, whatever.
That could be
else.
a whole nother adult friendships.
Yeah. Tough.
That's a whole nother topic in itself because it's hard out here.
I was just texting with, shout out Langston and Bryce, but I was just texting, we were all texting the other day about going to get something to eat or something like that. And I texted in there, and one of them was like, oh, I'm doing this tonight. Another one was like, oh, I'm going here. I already got plans. And then we kept talking, and we were like, you literally, as an adult, we got to say, okay, what do you got going on March 23rd?
Yeah.
You know,
planning ahead.
Are you free this day? Because, you know, I got a little time in between these things. Like, that's really how you have to do it as an adult.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I agree. It's hard. So if anybody wants to be our adult friend, we would love that.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, come hang out with us. We be doing fun. Y'all must have heard about the bowling night. We do that.
We be doing fun things.
We have game nights, all types of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
so check us out. Anyway, okay. I think that was a good one, though. I really want to hit on the fact that just because something gets tough or just because something gets difficult in anything in life, not just a romantic relationship, but, you know, specifically to that, it doesn't mean you chose wrong. It doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. So keep pressing on and trust that it's going to work out if it's meant to work out.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. This one feels a little deep. I ain't even going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Casual sin is not that deep. So I guess it's saying, like, you know, just a little sprinkle of sin here and a little sprinkle of sin there is like, it's not going to be the worst in the world. You know, you can just pray and get over it and keep it pushing. You don't have to try not to sin all the time.
And we're here to influence you and say, it is that deep.
It is that deep, yes. And okay.
Quite frankly.
So let's be clear. Again, and everything that we say, we're not saying it so that, like, oh, you need to be living your life a different way. We're telling you how we should be living our lives and what we've learned, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm gonna just lay it all out there just so we can be clear. For me, I know that where I'm at in my walk in faith right now, there are some things and some places that I know I just shouldn't go, or that I just shouldn't, things I shouldn't experience at this point because it compromises my faith.
Yeah.
I feel like this is how I feel about myself. For instance, I feel like, okay, here's an example. I feel like music, I know I keep saying, for instance, here's an example. I know, I'm going to get better at that. But music. I love music. Anybody that knows me knows I love music. I love all types of music, all genres. I love everything from the oldest music to the newest music, right? But I know, and I'm not going to like pick on any specific artist because I don't want any type of backlash from that. But I know that there's some artists or there's some songs that they just don't fit in my faith journey anymore.
That's actually been an interesting thing. I feel like with both of us.
Yeah.
I have transitioned into just a different way of listening and what type of music to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard not to drop names.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to drop any specific names.
But, it's just that feeling you get from that certain type of music, yeah.
And I know that for me, I feel convicted that I don't know. I'm not going to say it is or it isn't because I'm not 100% sure, and I'm honest and transparent in that. I don't know if it's a sin necessarily to listen to music or anything, but I do feel convicted that some of the things that I listen to may lead to sins. Even if those
fair.
Are little sins.
Yeah.
Some of the music may be super just violent or whatever. Maybe I'm not going to go out and beat somebody up, but also subconsciously that may push me to be like, it'd be easier for me to get angry at somebody that cut me off and I might throw a cuss word out there, so whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that it is that deep.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Like to say that I have to guard my heart and realize that some of the situations or some of the things that I may do, like for me personally, even no matter what the event is, and I can speak truthfully because I know there was a time in my life when it was different. I don't think there's any event where I should be getting like blackout drunk or anything like that ever. Yeah. And I'm not saying that to say like I'm better, because again, college and whatever, there were times that I did that, so I'm not saying I'm better than anybody by that, but I'm saying that again, in my journey that I'm in and where I'm at with my faith, I know that would compromise, and it feels almost like it would convict me to like feel opposite of what I'm living.
It's hard though, I feel like, as teenagers once, with the world and these de-influencing topics, like, it's cool to do that.
Yeah. Well, legally drinking adults, you mean, but yes.
No, I'm saying, like, teens will think that it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
To do that. Or, this one time, you'll be fine. Like, just take medicine in the morning. You'll be okay. Like, it's hard. It's hard as a young adult, even, or young person, to just be in the world and be like, no thanks.
Yeah.
That's kind of frowned upon. And the influence in that too, like, it's okay not to go with the crowd.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, when we say this, it's not like, I know that all glory be to God that he has saved me and sent his son Jesus Christ who died. I'm not gonna go into a whole sermon, but that's what happened, right? But I know who I am without God, and I know that I am a sinner, so I know that I have committed sins, and it's not going to be the last sin that I committed today. There'll be other sins in my life, but so it's not like we're saying, okay, if you sin, you're just a terrible person, because that's just who we are within this world, and we have to work. Yeah, but it's more, the idea behind saying that, oh, well, this little sin, it ain't that deep,
It's kind of like white lies. Like, eventually your white lies will catch up to you. Just like your little sins here and there will catch up to you. Yeah,
I think that's a really good way to put it, is you can't have this gauge of, okay, well, I didn't do this really big sin today, so, that would have been really bad. But what I did today is like, it's just a little sprinkle. I'm going to pray about it, ask for forgiveness, and keep it pushing. Mm-hmm. But you have to realize that you have to treat every single one of them equally. And that just goes for anybody in life. Whatever sin that you believe you're doing in your life, or you believe someone else is doing in their life, they are all equal. Every one of them. So,
And I think it's just, validating how hard it is kind of to grow up in the generation. Just to think, like,
because people tell you all the time.
Everybody else is doing it, so you could do it.
But, bro, you pray all the time. You're at church every single Sunday. You out here reading your Bible. Just because you did this one little thing, you're going to be all right. And you are going to be all right. I'm not going to say that you're not going to be all right. But also, it's not one of those things where you can just say, oh, well, it ain't that big of a deal. Okay, every now and then, I like to do this little thing that I know is completely against what I should be doing. Mm-hmm. It's that deep. It really is. You gotta realize that it's not a comparison. They all can conflict with what you're trying to do in your life. So, I think that's a clear-cut one.
It is.
I think
it is that deep, folks.
I know for us, we got to stop telling ourselves that just because it's a little sin, or just because it's a casual one, whatever, that it just is what it is. No, we got to treat every single one of them the same. Yeah. You got to do that. You.
And you.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, me too. Both of us. Okay. What else we got?
The next one is kinda intense. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Give it to me.
Submission means silence.
Okay.
Are your feathers ruffled?
Yeah. I know mine are. Okay, let's dive into that a little bit more. What do you mean submission means silence?
Like strength, and what the Bible has, like biblical order, aren't opposites.
Okay. But like when you say submission means silence, that's like somebody saying that. Are we talking like from a marriage perspective?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying like a woman submitting to their husband means that like they they should be silent and just listen to whatever it is that they say. That type thing. That's yeah. I think submission, especially in marriages, we're not married yet, but we are, you know, working towards that and constantly learning each and every day about how to live that way. Submission is one of those topics that's really tough. I'm not an expert on that, so let me start by saying that.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that no, submission does not mean silence. It doesn't mean that just because I'm the husband, she's the wife, she needs to just be quiet and listen to whatever I say. That's not correct. Also,
be influenced.
Yeah. Also, I know she's not gonna do that. So, but what it, you know, here's the thing about submission, right? In the Bible, it does say that, you know, a wife should submit to her husband, but that does not mean that she is his servant or his employee or his assistant or anything like that.
And to be quite transparent, we've kind of had this talk
a little bit
vaguely.
Yeah, a little bit.
And we have disagreed because Dion has had to explain to me like what he means when he's talking about it in the Bible. Because you know, automatically you think submission, oh, like we have to submit to men and we have to do what they say.
Yeah.
Well, it's not control. It is unity.
Yeah.
Like it's not hierarchy over value.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You want me to jump into a Bible verse that may clarify?
Well,
okay.
We marked ours.
Okay.
We marked ours. Just to kind of back up what we're saying, because I think this is very important to de-influence, because especially going into a marriage, like some people may think like, oh, well, in the Bible, you know, men are in charge. Well, not necessarily, you know?
Yeah.
What I'm saying there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Somebody didn't mark their Bible, so.
That's all right. I'm good.
So, first we want to relate it to Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 21 through 25, and it is actually titled, like, Instructions for Christian Households.
Yeah.
So, mine, I actually don't know what version this is, but it says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. And you kind of were explaining to me that earlier.
So one thing that I want to hit, there's like a couple points. We're not going to have Bible study right now.
Yeah.
We are going to go into a couple things. One, the first one where it says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body. The thing about that is it is not saying just because the husband is the head of the wife, is the head of his family, that he is the boss.
Yeah.
Because a boss is somebody that just tells others, do this, do this, do this, and then they watch as you do it. But it's more saying that the husband is the leader of his family. And by saying that, it means that he is tasked, or he is charged with the idea of leading his family. And
I feel like it's like he's the supporter of all.
Yes.
I feel like that's a good way to
put it.
And
a good leader is somebody that doesn't just tell you what to do. They tell you, like, they may say, hey, we have to get this done, or hey, you know, this is the direction that we should be heading in, but we're going to all do this together.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't, I'm going to tell, you know, Tay, go do this, and I'm going to watch you while you do it. No.
So this is, like, so interesting to me, because this is, like, I had to be de-influenced by this, y'all, because I was like, I'm going to be honest. Straight out the gate, I said, huh?
Yeah, you did.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can be head of household. That's okay.
Yeah.
And really, I was like, well, we both are. And I stand by that. We both contribute to the household, obviously.
Yes.
But
we're both not the head of the household. I'm
yeah,
just going to be honest with you.
Title schmitle.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we both do what we need to do.
Yes. No.
I think it contributes to make the house 100%.
And that's why I think it's so important, that as important as it is for this this section of Ephesians to say wives submit to your husbands, that is really important. You know, wives do submit to your husbands and do let your husband lead. That doesn't mean let him control you, but do let him lead the family. But here is the other part of it. For all the husbands that are listening, all the guys that are going to be husbands, as much as that is important, verse 25 is important, where it says, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. That's the part.
Important.
Yes. I mean,
she's like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a...
What are you looking for?
Like a goddess.
Okay, we probably shouldn't use goddess, but you know, you're on the right track though. Yes. The point of that is yes, it is important for wives to submit to their husbands as the church should submit to Jesus, you know, but on the flip side, Jesus died for the church. Not did he didn't just like say, okay, I'm going to tell y'all what to do, you know, I'm going to do my thing, I'm going to get the glory, y'all going to stand behind me. No, as much as he needed the church to submit to him and say, okay, we trust and value what you have going for us and know that you're going to lead us to the ultimate goal, which was heaven, or not was, it still is heaven. In the same way, he died for the church saying, I love you so much and I care about you so much that my own life holds enough value, and I value it as much as I value you, to say that I'll lose it, you know, I'll sacrifice it for you. And that's how husbands should treat their wives, is to say, yes, I'm just going to be clear, you know, I do want you to submit to me in a sense of like, allow me to lead our family. But in the same sense, I give you my entire life. Everything, yeah. Every bit of it.
I also view it as a structured partnership.
Yeah, sure.
Like, we have our structures. Like I kind of relate it to, like, blue job, pink job type
yeah,
of
you
thing.
love saying
you
that.
know?
Yeah.
You know, like in the house. Just as a reference, blue job's like, take the trash out.
Yeah.
And then, like, pink job's like what?
Like, I don't know, you'd be ordering the groceries.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I just think that this gets some bad stigma around it.
It gets back. I'm gonna be real. It gets bad stigma because the world is a lot different than how it was in the Bible.
Yeah.
And when people hear that word submit, they think that it means that, okay, this woman needs to be inferior to this man and needs to just sit back and let this man.
That.
Yeah, that's not the case.
No, baby.
You know, I mean, there are, again, it's right here in the Bible that a man should lead his family. And by leading his family, you know, that means to be a servant leader.
An example.
Yeah, that's not just being a leader and saying, I'm the head of this. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to walk this. But that's being a servant leader. And sometimes leading is to serve your family. It's to serve your wife. It's to serve everyone. But also realizing that you have to literally love your partner, love your wife, as much as Jesus loved the church. To the point of, I'm sorry. I'm just to the point. I know. I'm gonna stop. But
what I was gonna add is because Dion put this in a post on Instagram recently as a Proverbs 31 woman. He called me that, and of course I went to my Bible and I was like, oh, what does this mean? You know. So I went to look it up in the Bible, and I realized that this related to this topic because in Proverbs 31, chapter 10 through 31, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Basically, like, the woman does a lot in that chapter. Mm-hmm. She buys land, she runs a business, she speaks with wisdom, she has strength, she shows her strength, and her dignity. And in that, she wasn't just submitting under somebody. Nobody was telling her what to do. She was doing those things.
Yeah.
You know, so she was showing that she was strong, she was vocal, and she was still strategic, all within operating in her marriage still.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I just find that so exciting.
Well, I think
it could be a good light over submitting with your partner.
Yeah. To your partner. I think submission is just you know, submission is just being willing to give yourself to the other person. You know, that's clear as it should be.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, all of it. And, you know, as much as, you know, I hate to be a broken record, but as much as a wife submits to their husband in the sense of still doing all those things and not being silent and just being like, okay, whatever he tells me to do next, that's what I'm going to do. No, because, you know, I know for me, I wouldn't want someone in my life that would sit there and just listen to every instruction that I gave them.
Yeah.
Because this is a team effort, like you said. Now, on the flip side, I do think there are times when things go crazy, and as the man in the relationship, and I'm not saying this from a like, oh, this men are just strong or whatever, but as the man in the relationship, you are going to be looked to say, what are you going to do to make sure this situation's straightened out? What are you going to do to...
But nowadays, I feel like, yes, completely trust the Bible. I agree with that, and we're working on that in a marriage that we're going to have soon. But also in that limelight, I think it could be shaped like, what are we going to do?
Well, you didn't let me finish. Yeah, you didn't let me finish. You was ready to say... Anyways, what I was saying is that there are situations when the man is going to be looked at to say, what are you going to do to make this situation right and fix it for your family? And how are you going to do your part? But also, the part that I was going to get to is that just as everyone in the church plays their part, and not equally, but the church believing in Jesus plays a part, just like Jesus sacrificed himself for the church does. And the same way that they have that chemistry for them both to interact with each other is the same way a marriage is, in the sense of it's not just what is the man going to get done, what is the man going to do to make sure everything's all right. It's both of them. You know what I'm saying? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
In the sense of like
I said, it's a structured partnership.
Yes. Yeah. But I think that word submit is where people start getting a little mad because they think that you gotta be working for your husband or whatever.
Consider me de-influenced.
Yeah, that's all right. And we're probably still gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be a long going conversation of us, working on that dynamic, because it has to go both ways. Because I'm gonna say this for the men at least. Yes, do I think that your wife should submit to you? I do, but you got to be doing what you're supposed to do to make that happen. You have to be the man that is capable and willing to lead his family for that. And I'm not speaking to, I am speaking to others because it's our podcast, but I'm really speaking to myself in the same sense of I have to remind myself every day that, as much as I believe that, your wife or that I believe my wife should submit to me, I have to realize that I have to love her like Christ loved the church, and I have to serve her while also leading her. And if I'm not doing what I'm not supposed to be doing, I can't expect her to say, okay, this makes sense for me to let you lead me into a place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to step up and say, I need to be on my P's and Q's. I need to make sure that I'm doing the things. That's not, that doesn't even, making money or something is such a small part of that. Because again, I'm not gonna go.
Because the women can make more than the men.
Sure, yeah. It's not even just about making money.
That's one thing that's gonna get me.
What?
The breadwinner.
Yeah.
That's de-influence.
Yeah.
If we're gonna de-influence something, de-influence the breadwinner.
The breadwinner, yeah.
Y'all.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as your family is good. If there's food on the table,
and the lights are on, money is green, baby.
And money is not the only way that you serve or lead your family.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think if you have the opportunity to, of course, try to make sure that you can, provide for your family in any such way possible. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's not the only way that you serve your family. If you want to be a true servant leader, like Jesus was, you have to do other things. He was washing his disciples' feet.
Yeah.
He wasn't putting money in their pockets necessarily. He was washing their feet to show how much he loved them. Mm-hmm. In the same way, we have to be willing to wash the feet of our family. And that's, maybe physically or metaphorically, to say, am I emotionally available? Am I, able to hold a conversation without getting mad because maybe it's a different viewpoint than me? And again, I am saying these things to a T, because this is about me. Am I there for them in the sense of, can I make them comfortable in a time when they're struggling? Am I there for them when their thoughts are going all over the place? All these different types of things that don't even have to do with making money. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, that plays a part too. As long as I can, I'm going to make sure when we go out to dinner, I'm going to pay for it if I can. But that also doesn't mean that, because I'm a man, I'm big and bad because I paid for the dinner. Because you offer to pay for dinner all the time. I just am too stubborn to let you do it most of the time. Yeah. But I just say all that to say
But even
that.
I feel like not just as a man being head of the household, like what if you're a single parent?
And they're out there doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Playing both sides.
I'm only speaking from a marriage standpoint.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
And we still have so much to learn.
Yeah.
We're engaged, what, 3 months?
Yeah. We got so
we
much
have a
to
lot
learn.
to learn.
But also, I'm gonna just throw this out here. Shout out to the single parents, men, women, whatever. Shout out to all of y'all because I superheroes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Regardless if you're a man, woman, whatever's going on, shout out to you.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, as far as the topic of submission goes, I just want to be clear that again, we're de-influencing that submission is not silence, and the word submit does not make you inferior or doesn't make you a lesser person or anything. And we're learning that. So, yeah, I mean, that was a lot in itself. I don't want to do too much with that because I could go on for a while about that.
That was a big one.
Yeah, honestly.
I feel like we just want to help, like, especially in I keep saying this, just generation, this life, this world, just de-influence a couple things.
Yeah.
Change it up, boy. It doesn't have to be like it always was.
Yeah.
And we're not saying we've mastered these things, but we are saying we're unlearning them too, and happy to do it.
Every single day we are unlearning them.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants more conversations that are going to challenge modern culture instead of copying it, stick around with us.
Stick around.
See what else we got to talk about. We got more coming soon. We do. We got some other topics. So.
With that being said, tune in to our Instagram and our TikToks to, interact with us. We're going to be posting a lot. So.
And remember, give God your ideas and trust His plan. Bye.
Bye, guys.